this medicine is like the bridge between me saying that I'm trans and being trans.
I have no idea what's in that cafe, so.
Without getting this medication, I will go through the wrong puberty, therefore making permanent changes to me that I do not want.
It's really hard to explain to an 11-year-old kid that whereas we used to just, pop to the hospital once every 3 months, that now we have to travel out of state, and trying to make that a good experience for her. We came up and we saw a museum and just trying to make a negative into a positive for her. They would split them up at preschool, like girls on this side, boys on that side, and she would go with the girls, and they would explain, like, you're a boy, you need to go over here. And she started to become really distressed about it. One day she came home and the teacher had told her that God made you a boy. And she crawled up in my lap and she said, how can I get God to change his mind?
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. I say double honor to the apostles and the bishop elders at Great Millstone for teaching us his word and truth and sincerity for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and prophesying in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Yeah, my brother Gabar Yahweh, we just saw a video that just got posted up. It's called Transgender Kids Seeks Treatment Across State Lines. And this is the madness that we live in. This is what the Edomites come up with. And you see the wickedness and the evil on this devil, this Edomite wildebeest, okay, who basically mix and mingled their son. All right. 11-year-old kid is filled with this wickedness. But that's how Esau is from the jump anyway. Esau is estranged from the womb. All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 58. Psalms 58 and 1. Yep. It says the chief musician, Altashith, Mishtim of David. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? And they don't judge uprightly. Yea, in your heart, yea, in heart ye work wickedness. In their mind, that's all they do is work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. In the NLT, it says, these wicked people are born sinners. Even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. Right? And you see that in this short video. Okay, you see that from the devil, from the mother to the son. Okay, this is a boy. He don't know nothing about sex. He ain't never been with a woman. He's about to turn 12, so he's stepping into manhood according to the scriptures. And this is what this devil comes up with, man. This confusion. Esau is the author of confusion, but the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, is not the author of confusion. The devil said that God, somebody at school told the devil that he was born a boy, and then it said they want to go back to God and ask for to redo him again. And you Edomites, you don't get a second chance. Okay, you come as you are, but because you are the wicked, this wickedness is already built in you. Okay, and you can look at this demon's face and tell it's just nothing but wickedness. Ain't no spirit of righteousness on this thing, man. This is straight up wickedness.
And she crawled up in my lap and she said, how can I get God to change his mind?
Yeah, the Most High is not going to change his mind. He's got it out for you devils, man, because you do nothing but push wickedness, confusion, violence in the earth, man. All right, you're not going to get a part two. The Most High is not going to change his mind. The Lord said, what? I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Most High, he ain't having it. Okay, this is the book of Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. And this shows you that this man is completely profane. All right. It says, lest there be any lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Right. So you Edomites, you don't got no place for repentance. You don't got no place to change the Lord's mind. You can't. You're incapable of that because the Most High made it that way because He rejected you, man. And this is the complete face of rejection. Something like this. And something like this. This is an Edomite man, and he's gonna get his comeuppance in the kingdom, man. Here it is. They play all this confusion to try to switch it around. No, you an Edomite boy, devil, and you're gonna be an Edomite man, and you're gonna die as that. The Lord don't make mistakes. Yahweh Shem Shai do not make no mistakes. He's not a man that he should lie. This motherfucker was brought, excuse my language, this demon was brought here as a man, and that's a man child, and that's what it is. That's what it's always gonna be. All right. But Esau, because of his wickedness and evil and his profaneness, he thinks that he is the Most High and that he has the ability to say what sex is and what it isn't. In the NLT, it says, make sure that no one is immoral or godless like Esau, who traded his birthright as the firstborn son, for a single meal, which the Lord had him do that. Okay. It says in verse 17, ye know that afterward, when he wanted his father's blessing, he was rejected. Right. So he's automatically rejected. It was too late for repentance, even though he begged with bitter tears. So this devil, he can't get repentance. The Lord's not going to change his mind. He's not going to take you back to the spirit world and then bring you back as a female child, because you was never a female child from the beginning. You were a male child. But the so-called white men that say, no, this is an 11-year-old kid. Lord knows what they were feeding this devil in its mind. And now it wants to be a girl, and try to live as a girl. And that shows you that these Edomites are nothing but confusion. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 25. It says, so that there reign in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury. And that's what you see. That's what you see in these men down here, in all these nations, including the nation of Israel right now. It says, verse 26, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good terms, defiling souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriage, adultery, and shameless uncleanliness. And that's what you see in this world, because who's ruling? Satan, Esau, Edom, the devil. All right? You got all of this evil and confusion and disorder. You got disorder in marriages. You got changing of kinds, adultery, and shameless uncleanliness. And this is shameless uncleanliness, man. Even for an 11-year-old child. And even when you go to the comment board, people are coming at them. You got somebody says, so happy to see these kids are getting the treatment they need and deserve. Wish trans kids of color could access the same. And that's another thing. They put this spirit of transformerism onto the people, especially the Israelites, but they can't even get to these health benefits that these Edomites get. So even in your wickedness and transgressions, Esau still find a way to mess you up, man. But put that spirit of wickedness and confusion all over you, and you accept it. And then you got people saying they wish trans kids of color could get access to the same. It says somebody said sick. Somebody said sick, and then somebody else said this does not make any sense, and it doesn't make any sense. If this is a boy, like the teacher told the devil, so she claimed, all right, it should be a boy. It should grow up as a boy into a man, you know? But what is it going to do? Grow up, get the puberty blockers all early, grow up. You can't see no baby pictures of this devil as a little girl, because it ain't a little girl. Grow up from 11 years old into adulthood, confusing the people. So a man will just walk down the street thinking he getting a woman and end up getting a whole fucking man. That's confusion. It doesn't make any sense. Like the person said, it says to you, it doesn't, they don't have to live but your little have to live by your little perceptions, and that's the mindset of the world. And these women, you notice that it's women that actively gravitate toward this wickedness. You got these devils, they got their kids running around the street, and all these different colored flags, becoming a host for demons, and a sex bag for these fucking deviants, man, sexual deviants. You look at it on it says somebody said child abuse, and it is child abuse. It says bigotry is always abuse, especially when bigotry is intentionally aimed at children. And that's they try to confuse the people. This ain't about children. This is about what's right and what's wrong. And this is wrong, you know? But we live in a world today where you can't tell the truth about nothing. And lies prevail. Treatment, they call it care. It says the mother needs mental health. And she need to be checked and screened for having mental health. And she got demons on her too. Somebody said, better not be any of my children, including the ones the state of Missouri has denied me knowledge of my entire life. You know? So there's people out here that are speaking up against it, but it ain't a lot. You know? It says families around the U.S. are scrambling to navigate new laws that prohibit their transgender children from accessing gender affirming care. And this is what your president Joe Biden is pushing to the people. Like this is something of a necessity, and this is nothing but utter confusion and destruction. And this is how they get the kids early so that they won't procreate in mass numbers. See, she's a poor Edomite. She's a poor, downtrodden, obese Edomite. She'll be gone before that kid probably reaches true adulthood, because whatever health issues she's suffering with, she's like 2 seconds away from my 600-pound life. And this is what they push: utter confusion, and it's accepted down here. This is Wisdom of Solomon 14, and I'll start at 22. This is in a Good News Translation, the same precept I just read in the KJV. It says, then it was not enough for them to err about the knowledge of the Most High, but through living in great strife due to ignorance, they call such great evils peace. And that's what you see going on. For whether they kill children in their initiations, yes, right, that's sacrificing. We call it Planned Parenthood today. Or celebrate secret mysteries, or hold frenzied revels with strange customs, right? That's what these elites do when these doors are closed in these different secret societies that exist. They doing all manners of evil and wickedness to children, men and women. You know, all is for their sacrifice. And Jake was into this shit. It says they no longer keep either their lives or their marriages pure, but they either treacherously kill one another or grieve one another by adultery. And that's pervasive. That spirit is pervasive amongst this earth, amongst the children of Israel, and amongst these heathen nations. It says, and all is the raging riot of blood and murder. Yep. Theft and deceit, corruption, faithlessness, tumult, perjury, confusion over what is good. Because, see, people think that this is good, but this is not good. It's like it. People think that this is good, but this is not good. And again, if you speak against it, we're wrong. We're wrong for chanting down Babylon. But this is the reason why Yahweh Shema Shah is going to judge this place. And it ain't on behalf of these Edomite kids. Who cares about them? But you got a lot of Israelite kids in the same mindset because their parents enticed them. The shit that they watch, the shit that they listen, the foods they eat, the places they live in. And that's why you got to get these Edomites up out of here, because they do nothing but corrupt, all right, profane, all right, and pollute. That's what they do. All right. So it says, confusion over what is good, forgetfulness of favors, defiling of souls, sexual perversion, disorder in marriages, adultery and debauchery. For the worship of idols not being named is the beginning and cause and end of every evil, because all of this goes back to idolatry. All of this goes back to these occultic rituals. All right. That's all this shit is. This little demon right here is nothing but the result of an occulted ritual, man. You know, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting. All right, and but this is what they pushing. This demon is all too happy. This is an Edomite. This is not an Israelite. This is a complete devil. It got the leprosy of the scalp, of the skin, everything. It's out of here, and trying to act like it's a girl. Okay, this shit is off. This shit is off, man. So I didn't want to make this too long. I just saw this, and I decided to do a video. Hope you're edified. It doesn't say above the ball. Shalom.